Hi, and welcome to this HydroCAD for AutoCAD training video. In this video, we're going to be using the jumps command in AutoCalc. And basically, the jumps are used to jump from one part of the drawing to another part of the drawing when you don't have pipe directly connected to it. In this video, we plan to set up custom reference points. So you'll see me set up some hydraulic reference points where I will be able to recognize them in the calculation. After that, we're going to insert the jump to get from one part of the drawing to another part of the drawing. We will run the calculation and verify everything worked. We'll update our diameters in HydroCalc and have it send those back to HydroCAD. And we'll fix any diameters that didn't get updated by editing the drawing and the calc separately. Let's get started. Okay, so here we go. I'll just whip through this really quickly. Quick beats here is we have a system which is, I'm going to call this our lower floor, and we're going to have this which is our higher floor. And basically we're connecting it. We're going to be rising through this reference point called A1. We'll go over, we'll rise up, we'll go over, and then we're going to connect to this pipe. And then this is how it's going to connect to the higher floor. So this is where we're going to insert our jump. Let me show 3D very quickly. And as we see, if I orbit around, so I'll type out orbit, we can see how this pipe is going to rise up. It's going to go over. This is where we're going to have back-to-back elbows. It will connect to this pipe. So basically this pipe that we're looking at here, this and this represent this exact same piece of pipe, okay? And then we're going to come over here, and then this will pitch up. And that's why we needed the back-to-back elbows there. So we're going to run the calculation on this, but we need to get it to jump from that fitting and jump over to this fitting and then have it run through. Okay, so let's go back to 2D. Let me set up some reference points very quickly. I could let the program label these for me automatically. I like to have control over this so that I can see what my reference points are. So I pick on the reference point command. I'm going to call it S101. I'll click sequential, I'll click insert, and basically 101, 102, 103, 4, 5, 6 reference points, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So those are my 12 sprinkler heads. I may also want to put reference points at each branch line connection. So maybe I can call this A101 or maybe M101 for the main pipe, and M101 there, 2, 3, 104, 105, and 106. Actually, I'm going to jump. Let's do this. Let me show you this tool. So erase by block. I'll tell it, let's get rid of these blocks that I just inserted. Let's get rid of those. And I'm going to count by 2. So M102, S102 will go to M102, S104 will go to M104. So let's go back to this and call it M102, and we'll count by 2s. Now I can click insert, and there we go. So now we know where they're connecting to. So that's the reason I like doing this, is because it makes it much easier to find when I'm running my calculation and I look at my calc file and I can recognize the reference point very quickly because I know that I inserted it. So here we go. We're going to prep this for the jump. So I'll skip all the other commands real quick. Let's jump over to the jump command. So I'll click on jump. It's telling us it must jump in the direction of water flow from the water supply working towards a remote area. So I will click OK. I don't recommend clicking the don't show me these buttons until you're familiar with the command. This is select value where this is going to be for area 1, or I'm sorry, the jump node. So I'm sorry, it is the area number. So this is an area 1 calculation, and it's going to ask me what the reference point is. So I'll call it J, what did we get to, 112 over here? So I'm going to call this reference point J115. Okay. I'll click OK. And if you want, you can choose some common choices down here, but I'll stick with J115. I'll click OK. It'll ask me to select the pipe to jump from. Now, if you were rising straight up and then coming off, some people would want to say, oh, okay, let me just select the riser nipple, and then that's where we'll jump from. But notice when I select the riser nipple, it's telling me right here, it's not selecting it, right? I can pick and pick and pick and nothing happens. And that's because A jump cannot come off of a vertical pipe. It has to come off of the end of a pipe. Okay, we got lucky because we had these two back-to-back elbows here, so we'll do that. But that's the reason why it won't allow me to jump from here. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to click the right half of this pipe because it's jumping off the riser nipple. It's coming to this pipe. I'm going to click the right half of this pipe. You'll see reference point J115 shows up there. When I jump over here, this is the same pipe here. So actually, I'm going to tell it to jump to this endpoint here. So that's the same pipe there. We'll jump to here, and it gives me the J115 at this point as well. So there we go. So we'll notice the same 2 points. And if I go back to the source, you're going to see it gives me the finger, and it's going to tell it this is the direction towards the remote area. So it's pointing from that jump point, which was right at this endpoint, and it's jumping to this jump point and jumping here. Now, I also believe the program may not understand. I think the jump has to go to a dead end pipe. So we'll find out real quick. You know what? Just because I'm going to delete this pipe, this 3x06 piece, let's get rid of that. And that way now it's jumping there. So now we're not having any pipe duplicated. So we're jumping from here, we're jumping to here, and I'm just not going to show the back-to-back elbows. When you get ready for stock listing, you might want to go back, redraw them, and then break your fittings in at that location. But for this purpose, we're not going to do that. Okay, I'm not going to spend a lot more time on anything else. Let's do a save as, and I'll call this, let's bump up a folder, and we'll call it Jump Calc Video. And yes, we'll overwrite it. All right, so we're good to go. I'm going to start the AutoCalc process. And start index cannot be greater than. I'm going to click. Oh, this is a bug that I had because of my flex heads. If you can see them off to the side here, this was a known bug. Hopefully it'll be dealt with in the next update, but I'm going to skip past that. Telling me about if I had a grid system, I'll run the calculation, or I'll start, it'll go up to 3D right now. I won't bother with any of these, but we definitely are telling it Calc Area 1. And because I left off at reference point 115, let's tell it to any new reference points that have to be inserted, we'll call it 125. I didn't show them to you, but I had a reference point here that was like A1. I had one top riser, bottom riser out here, base, and my stub, and my test point out here. But everything else looks good. So I'll tell it to start with 125. So if I see any reference points that begin with 125 or 126 or 127 and that are numeric only, I know the computer put them on there for me. If I see ones that have letters and numbers or just letters only, I know I put them on there. Again, it's just a way to help your brain organize it, or help my brain organize it anyway. Let's start the process. It should go all the way through reference point, step 9A.1. The calculation opens up. And we can even see our reference points here. M110, so this is sprinkler head 103 is actually the most remote head. Sprinkler 104 to M104, M106, 8, 10, 12. M112 goes to J15. J15 connects to A1. And then A1 connects all the way back. So there we go. We were able to get the jump working. I would obviously run my calculation. You know, if you want to make changes, I'm going to run a calc on this. I'll click OK here. 35-pound cushion. Maybe I can make this all 2.5-inch pipe. So let's go from here through up all the way over to A1. Let's make that 2.5-inch pipe. I'll click OK. I'll run my calc again. I'll click OK. I was programming something and I broke this checkbox here, so it keeps unchecking the box. So I have to fix that in my code. 27 psi safety margin. Let's go one more. Let's go down to 2-inch pipe. Click OK. Calculate. Click OK. And I forgot again. Calculate. Check the box. Click OK. Click OK. 7-pound safety margin, much better. 11. I think it was 11% safety margin. So I think that's good. I like what I'm seeing here. I will now, again, I'm linked between my CAD and my calc file, and this is our link. I want to jump back. These two windows are the link between the two programs. I want to tell it I'm finished with my calculation and take any changes, take them back to the drawing. I will file. I'll click save, file, exit. It's going to return back across. Go here. I'll finish area 1, and let's minimize that. And there we go. And we can verify here that was supposed to be 2-inch. Oh, because this was my remote head, I only changed these diameters all the way back. I did not tell it to look for this diameter. So this did not get part of that calculation. That's the reason why this is still 3-inch. So I can do CD for change diameter. I would tell it 3-inch becomes 2-inch. I'll click OK. I'll select these. Those become that. I want to make sure my calculation matches and that we still have the safety margin that we expect. So File, and this is the calc that we just ran, and it is right here. That's that pipe. So I'll change that to 2. I'll calculate it. I'll check the box. I'll click OK. 11% safety margin, so we're good. You notice I had a pipe diameter to change. I did not change the diameter and run the whole calc again. I just updated it here. I updated it here. They're not linked together, but that's okay. These results are still accurate. So just keep that in mind as well. If you have a few pipe diameters to change, just change them in the drawing. You would have had to have done that anyway, but there's no need to rerun the whole AutoCalc process. I was able to fix it just by doing that. But you can see the AutoCalc process did fix that to 2-inch, and there we go. And that's how our jump worked. And that's all I wanted to show you in this video. Thank you for watching, and take care.
This is George Blackburn, signing off.
I don't know if you heard that at the very end there, but I just get no respect in this house. Thank you for watching the video. If you'd like to see any other videos like this, let me know. You can send an email to AutoCAD-training@hydracad.com. You can find other videos and video resources in our ShareFile account. So you just have to log in using your verified account, and you can go to the HydroCAD for AutoCAD folder and look for instructional videos. Thanks again, and take care.